Guys, deluded Guna, we know we were sold every dream under the sun, especially when we only, I believe, won 7 of the last 12. We were told by Invisible Ivan that this is the season, the summer for change. A lot of things are going to happen on the back room. This is going to happen. That's going to happen. The propaganda stuff was out in full effect. 100 million bids for Mpepe, for this guy, for that guy. We mean business. We mean this, that, and the third. We're going to do this. Back to reality, and several incompetent staff have been either given new deals or retained, and the power struggle or whatever continues. Now, we don't know if Ivan wanted to bring changes and they were blocked, or if Wenger wanted to bring changes and they were blocked, or what actually was meant to be done. We can speculate, but it's all a waste of time. I mean, we only see what's on the surface unless you know you're in the know, you've got some connections or whatever. You can't really comment on that. So we can only deal with the surface and the fact that it's not here. Of course, it could happen and whatnot. But there has been one change, and his name is Mr. Darren Burgess, I believe. He's Australian. He currently works at Port Adelaide. He's done some work for Australia's national team during the World Cup qualifying. He's been previously at Liverpool under Roy Hodgson, Rogers, and I think Kenny Dalglish. Now, he's got a background in sports medicine, in fitness, in medicine, and all of that sort of stuff. So it is really sort of a fitness change. Now, I do believe his term or his job title, and better put, director of performance or high performance or something like that. I don't know if I'm wrong. Quote me, guys, and correct it in the comments. But I do believe his roles is were entitled, or whatever the report said, is performance, technical, fitness, analytical, and medicine, and obviously sports science. He's going to basically oversee every department apart from scouting. Now, that fills me with concern. I mean, not concern per se, but it is a big workload. No doubt he's going to have his own team of skilled, similar skilled individuals and things of that nature. Of course, on the surface, this isn't the change we wanted. We wanted a change in regards to recruitment, especially some of you, the manager or whatever. We're not getting into that. But yeah, that is it. But I do say the one benefit, I know regardless, we brought in Shad Forsyth to prevent injuries and fix injuries, and it hasn't happened, and there's something fundamentally wrong. And what I'm about to say probably won't happen, but on the flip side, if we look at it from everything's hunky dory point of view, Burgess takes his expertise in medicine and high performance in his department. He links up with Shad Forsyth, who's in fitness, and basically the same thing, but more towards with the fitness and the issues of that. And they compare analysis, and they can see what has gone wrong, and they can compare. I mean, in regards to the performance thing and fitness levels, you'd like to think he can Forsyth's already, sorry guys, already got prepared dossiers on the players. They can see performance levels during certain months of the season. When does our team have highest performance and fitness levels? When do they drop? When do we tend to get the most injuries? November. How do we prevent that? Certain targets that we're in for, check their performance levels over different stages of the season, over 90 minutes, over things like that. We can see if potential targets or potential players, their performance levels are dropping off or picking up, or if we can see performance levels of youth players, or we can see different stuff. I'm not, like I said, that's not me. I don't work in that department, so I don't really know what to tell you guys in that circumstance. But it does sound good. Like I said, it's not the change we wanted. Of course, it was in recruitment because we've missed out on the likes of the Pulisic's and the Osman Dembele's and the Mpepes and the Asensios and the Gab Jesuses and to a degree the Leroy Sané's, potential players and potential world beaters that are under our noses. We need to find someone like that. Another thing that fills me with concern as well is that he reports to Wenger. So the whole point is people to report to the board so that there's not really a conflict of interest type thing. What I mean by that is it's not directly a conflict of interest, but because he's got a superior in Wenger, he might be reluctant to say really how he feels. Sporting man in the sporting department, forget the board. We know there's no sporting man on that, and that needs to change. But sporting man holds Wenger accountable to sporting things on that basis, rather than just looking at it from a business. But not to get into that. Now, there's also a couple question marks over certain people's careers as well in regards to backroom at Arsenal. Colbert, it's talked about first. It was talked about as retiring, and then he's going. We know we need a goalkeeping coach and things like that. And this is an underwhelming announcement of all natures. It's not really what we wanted to hear, but there's nothing we can do. I mean, on paper, there's still time to bring in the director of football and things like that, but that's wishful thinking. We've basically been told that's not going to happen. There's been some sort of change of heart. Or better yet, if we can stick out for some sort of hope that similar to how this role was created, there'll be a role created for scouting and things like that. Now, why I don't think that will happen is because that is basically another way of putting a director of football. I mean, if they suggest players the manager doesn't want or things like that, it can create problems. And Wenger's made it clear he wants sole responsibility over transfers and things like that, among other things. So we can hope for the best, prepare for the worst. And I mean, the saga that is Arsenal continues. But either way, guys, we've announced a new agreement with someone to become a member of staff and get their title. I mean, a new job title and things like that. Yeah, Darren Burgess, not much more to be said on him and on this front. Just do my bit to bring you guys the news. Anyways, guys, Deluded Gooner, I'm signing out. You guys know what to do. Subscribe, follow, comment.